Hello everybody, this is Victor and I'm a web developer. Today we are going to be making a responsive navigation bar without using any JavaScript code. We are not going to write even a single line of JavaScript code. We are going to be using pure HTML and CSS. I decided to make this tutorial because some of you guys reached out for me to make this video after I made a post on this topic on medium.com. So I decided to make this video to explain the techniques I wrote on the article on a video so that when you read the article or when you watch the video, you can understand it better, and when you apply these techniques on your project, you will achieve the same result without using JavaScript. So I guess maybe you are on your journey of learning JavaScript, or you don't know JavaScript yet, but you still want to enjoy responsiveness on your web project or your web application project. You can use these techniques to achieve this responsive navigation bar so that when people click it, it will be responsive. It will adjust to mobile device and it will adjust to desktop device. So with that being said, I want to make it clear that I'm making this video with hope that you already know some basic HTML and CSS, because I'm not going to go detail explaining why I made some decision or why I decided to make this decision or why I decided to use it this way. I will try as much as possible to explain my techniques in detail for your understanding, but I'm not going to go so deep as if I'm making a tutorial to teach you CSS or HTML. I'm just going to explain the techniques I already explained in my article, but now with a video and practical application of the techniques so that you will see exactly how I achieved the same result that you were expecting to achieve from the article I wrote. So with that being said, let's hop into the computer and see exactly what I'm talking about. Hello everybody, here we are, and I'm going to start by opening my text editor. I use Visual Studio Code. It's just a preference. You can use any text editor. You can use Atom, you can use Sublime, you can use even an IDE. You will achieve the same result. But I love to use Visual Studio Code because it gives me the ability to make some customization to the program using some beautiful and wonderful plugins. So without further ado, let's continue. And when you open your text editor, this is what you see. These are some projects that I already did, some tutorials that I already did, but in this case I'm going to open a new folder and I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to make a new folder and just give it a name, tutorial. I'll open it, and this is what you see. So I don't need that. So in order for us to start working on our text editor, we need a file that we have to write our HTML code on, and this file we need to create it with an html extension. So in order to do that, we create a new file. I will just name this, you can name it anything, but I will name it menu.html. When I'm doing a real project though, I always name this as an index.html. The reason for that is not what I'm going to explain on this video, but is a good practice, and that is how it's supposed to be. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just designing a menu and I just want to name it menu.html. And we need the second file we are going to use to design our HTML, which is CSS, and I will just create it now. I will also make it menu.css. So for right now, we need to work on our HTML to get our structure, our web page structure. So to start, I will only make a quick one. This is our boilerplate. I will change it to responsive navigation bar. That's the title. Here is our body. and there is nothing in our body yet, but I just want to open this with Live Server. There is a plugin you can use with Visual Studio Code that is called Live Server. That is how we can see what we are doing on the web with Google Chrome. I'm using Google Chrome to display what I'm going to do, but for now I need a font, and I'm going to use Google font, which is free. You're allowed to use it. So I'm just going to make a quick one here. I'll just use Roboto. I'll use the regular, and I'll copy this to the header of my HTML. Done. I'll also minimize this so that we can see it side by side. Yep, good. I'll put the font to the header. And now we need to make the body of our web page. In order to make the body, there is first thing I want to do. I want to wrap all the web page in a container, and I'm going to call that container main, and I'm going to give it an ID of main. And inside this container, I want to have all the headers, the logo, the navigation bars, the home, about, contact, that when you click them, it can take you to another page in a real website. You know, the thing that normally stay at the head of the web page, which is known as the header. This is, I want to have a container for that, so I'll just make it a header, and I can also make it an ID of header. So, and inside this header, I'm going to have a div for my logo. I'm going to have a div, and I will ID it logo. And inside this div, I'm going to have just a simple h1 tag that's just going to say my company or company logo or anything. But in the real sense, we can put our logo here. As if you already have a logo that is designed for a company, you can add the logo here. So we just add an h1 tag, and I'll just say company logo. That's all. And the down after the div, in order for us to achieve what we want to achieve, I want another menu wrapper that's going to wrap the checkbox. We need a checkbox in order for us to achieve the click option, that when you click on the burger menu, it will take you to the navigation bar when it is on a mobile device, you know. So in order to achieve that, we need a checkbox. We need an input, a checkbox input. So in order to achieve that, we need a div, and I'm going to ID that div menu wrap. So div ID menu wrap. So, and inside this ID now, inside this menu wrap is where we are going to have our, this is where we are going to have our input. First of all, I want to have an input. Okay, so I'll have an input tag, and this input is going to be a checkbox. Okay, and I'll also name it a checkbox, and I will ID it toggle. I will add the toggle, and when you see here, this is the checkbox. Okay, this is what is going to allow us to be able, when we click it like this, then it will bring out our navigation bar in order for us to be able to navigate to our home, our contact, our, all the pages we have on our website. So we are going to achieve this. Normally you do this with JavaScript by using some SVG file to get the burger menu logo and put it, and when you click on it, it will navigate you direct to another, it will bring a plate where you can navigate to your home and everything. Normally we do it with JavaScript, but with these techniques you can do it without using JavaScript, because some people are still on their way of learning JavaScript, and sometimes when they make a web project, they stack the menus on top of each other, which looks a little bit ugly. So with this technique you can achieve the same thing somebody would achieve with JavaScript, or similar with JavaScript, and still achieve it with CSS while you're on your way of learning to be a web developer. So I'm going to have a div where I'm going to ID an hamburger div, which is what I'm going to use to design the hamburger menu. So I'll just go ahead and make a div and ID it hamburger, and inside this div I will have another div that I'm going to ID just line, div ID line. So that's what we need here, and down here we can have another div where we're going to ID menu, div ID menu, and inside this menu we are going to have an unordered list. In order to get our home, everything, we need a navigation tag, and inside this navigation tag we are going to have an unordered list. So navigation, which is nav, and I will I can ID it anything, but I want a name that corresponds to what I want to use it for, in order it will be easy for me and it will be easy for somebody else. In case if somebody want to read my code, it will be easy for that person to read my code. So I will ID it navigator, and inside here I'm going to have an unordered list, ul. Okay, and inside this unordered list there is what we call the list item. We are going to have the list item and the a tag. A tag is going to serve like is our anchor tag that is going to enable us to link our different pages into this button, so that when we click on this button, it will take us to that our pages. So in order, I will use a shortcut to achieve this. So I'm going to do li times how many do I need? I need a home, about, contact, service, and blog. So I'm going to make it 5 with an anchor tag, which I'm going to ID nav link. Yeah, but for now they are not leading anywhere, so I'm just going to add this to all of them. They're not leading anywhere, and I will write inside the anchor tag a home and about a home and about and I have contact, services, and blog. Okay. Contact, services, blog. I'll save them to dent them very well and make a good arrangement of the code. And now we are very much done with what we need as far as this navigation bar is concerned. We are done with what we need from the HTML, but I want to make a little bit I just want to add something to something like hero page, so I'll just make a quick div and ID it hero page, and inside here I will have an H2 or H3, can be anything, but I will have H3, and I'll just write to my company's website. Does it make sense? Yeah, it makes sense. And I will also have something like paragraph and paragraph. I'll just write it quality services. English student with quality services, because it's plural. Okay, so this is what we have. This is what we have right now. When this is our web page, this is exactly what HTML could give us. So in order to sexify the web page, we need our CSS. This is where we need our CSS, but we need to link our CSS to our HTML so that when we make our styling here, it will reflect here and make the changes how we want it. So on the top header of our web page, I will just make a link and link CSS, that is, and I will change the name to menu.css. So right now when we make changes here, it will go and affect our tag how we want it. So right now is the time for us to make the CSS, and I will start from the taking away, or if you look at this web page, there is a padding, there is a margin, and the padding, you know, this comes always with is a default padding and margin. So but I preferably like to take it away so that I can take 100% control of how I want everything to be aligned on the website. So in order to do that, I will use the general selector, and I will take out margin. I'll make it 0. I'll take padding and I'll make it 0. I will make box sizing. I'll make it border box. So this already explained itself. It's like it already explained itself. Is you see the changes made everything to take away all the padding and all the margins, and this thing are just staying like this. So right now I can start designing it how I want it to align with each other. So first of all, we are going to take the main, which is the main body. Now, like I said, I believe and I hope that what I'm doing, I don't need to explain it more. Like I'm trying to explain it, but I don't want to explain every single tag and every single thing I do here, like as if I'm making a tutorial about CSS. There are a lot of tutorials about CSS. You can watch them. You can watch tutorials about HTML, but this particular tutorial is only to achieve our result here of making a responsive navigation bar. So I'm not going to be explaining all the tags I'm using, all the CSS selectors I'm using, why I'm using it, why I'm doing it. I am just going to go from the top to the bottom, explaining the techniques of achieving this result. So let it not be as if we are not on the same page, so that you can understand me. So I'll take the main and I'll give it a width of 100%. 100%. A width of 100% will make it take over all the width of the web page. So even when if I add a background color, even when I'm adjusting it, it will adjust with the width, as far as it will always stay at 100%. So, and the height, I'm going to make the height 200 view height, because I want it to be scrollable. Normally I make it 100 view height, but I want to make it 200 view height, so that you will see the effect when I scroll it. The navigation bar is staying in place how it's supposed to be. So yeah, so you see now our scrolling is here, and I'm going to make what do we have here? Font family of Roboto. I will make it a font family. This, I'm making everything to be the same thing, nothing special, Roboto, and I will make it sans serif. Roboto and sans serif, yeah. And I will make the font, the background. I'll make the background of honey dew. Yeah? All these properties, all these values is just it's just normal values. There is nothing technical about them. And so I will take again the header. So we are going to take the header with us and take it header, and I'll give it also a width of 100%, and I'll give it a height of 60 pixels. Good. And I will give it a background color of salmon, yeah, to achieve this. And I will make the position fixed, so that you see when you scroll it now, it's scrolling with the web page, but when I make it position fixed, then the scrolling is gone. It stays in place. And I will make it a top of 0, left and right of 0. and I make it also display flex, because there is properties inside, there are items inside it, and I want to display them flex, that is side by side with each other. So I make it a display of flex, and I will align everything center. Align items center and justify same center. No, this justification of center doesn't work how I want it, so I think I'll make it space between. I'll make it space between. Yep, that's how I want it. This is how I want it. So I'm going to give it a Z index of index of 1. Okay, now Z index means in a programming language or in a computer language or so, every of the item we have here have a Z index of 0. All of them have a Z index of 0. But when you align the items, it could be that when we design the body of our website and start scrolling, some item will be on top of our navigation bar. So in order to make sure that our navigation bar is always on the top, we have to add its Z index, and the item with the highest Z index stays always at the top of the stack. So our next item to target is the logo. So logo, and we make it, I just want to make it the color of white, and make it a padding of, let me say, 2 rem. Okay, no, I make it 1.5 rem. 1.5 rem, yeah, that's good by me. And I will make it a font weight of 200. Or should I try 300? Yeah, 200 is okay by me. You never know until you try it. That's how it is. The font sizing, I want to make it a little bit standing out. I want to make it 2 rem. Oh, that's outrageous. 1 rem, 1.2 rem, 1.1 rem. Yeah, this is how you work. You adjust, you work and you adjust the numbers. You don't have the numbers offhand. When you're working on a project, yeah, maybe you already have a designer that designed the website and write down all the bits and everything they want for you. But when you're making a mock project like this, you always have to make it by try and error. You try the number, when it's not working, you change it. So I will make it a Z index of 2. I want it to be at the top of the stack always. And now we are done with the logo. we can start our toggle. So I will write a comment. Yeah, this is just a comment, so that when somebody else is seeing the code, they will understand the steps I'm taking and what I'm doing. This is not going to be executed if you know what comment is. So our next item is the menu wrap. Okay, and in menu wrap we are going to make it a width and a height position. So let's start with making a width, and I would like it to inherit the same width with its parents, which is this header. That is a width of 100%. So I'll just put inherit, and a height, I would also like him to inherit the height. Okay, and position, I'm going to make it absolute. I could also make it fixed, but because the parent is fixed, is also fixed. So when we make the position absolute, then we make it right 0, and top zero. Okay, and we also make it left just like the parent 0. Make it a Z index of the same with parent. So our next target will be this toggle, the input. So we go down here and we get the toggle. And on this toggle, I'm going to have a width of 40 pixels and a height of 40 pixels. I think it will look good. Yeah, looks good by me. Okay. I will position it absolute. Make it a top of 0. And a right of 0. This pushed it back to the right where I want it to be, but it's too back to the edge, so I think I'll add it 10 pixel right. Yeah, to give a little gap here. So you see, this is going to be our toggle. But normally this is a checkbox, but we are going to use it as a toggle. That's going to toggle our navigation. So give it a Z index of 3. I want it to be at the very top. And right now we just have to make the opacity we have to make the opacity to be to be 0. Right now the opacity is 1, that's why it's showing, but we don't need it to be showing. We don't need to see it. We only have to know that it is there. I think I'll add this top also 10 pixel. It's not looking good. Yeah, I think I prefer it this way. 10 pixel top, 10 pixel right. So in order to hide it, we make it opacity of 0. It's there, but we don't need it to be visual, to be visible. So our target is this hamburger in order to create our hamburger menu. So we need an ID of hamburger. I want to make it a width of 30 pixel. Yep, I want to make it a width of 30 pixel and a height of same 30 pixel. Sorry, silly mistake from Victor. Pixel got to be there, and I'm going to position it absolute. I'll make it a top of 10 pixel, like we made our toggler, and the right of 10 pixel, like our toggler, our toggler. We are going to make it a Z index of 2 to be under the toggler. And I'm going to display it flex. And I'm going to display it flex. Again, we align everything center. And this time around we justify everything center. Okay, I'll give it a padding of 1 rem. Right now you're not seeing anything I'm doing because actually it's an empty div, but to see what I'm doing, I'll just add it a background of blue. So that is what I was doing. I think this is a little bit too small, so I will make it 40 pixel, 40 pixel. Yeah, better. So what do we do next? We need to get the lines that are going to stay, that are going to be here, the 3 lines that's going to serve as our hamburger menu. And that is why we have this div inside this hamburger, this line div. So I'll target the hamburger with its child line. So I'm going to do width of 40 pixel. And the height of 3 pixel, just to get the line, and the background of white. Wow, that is absurd. I think this is because of the padding we have here. So take out the padding. Okay, good. Let's make the padding 0.2 rem, 0.1 rem. Yeah, good. I think so. Do you think so also? Now let's continue. And I will position it relative to be relative to the parent. Position relative. I'm going to take out the flex property from it because I want to flex it also. So I'll take out flex, none, and I will display it flex. Okay, do you understand what I'm doing here? I will align everything center. And justify same. I think I have to increase the padding to form. Okay, I'll make it 2 pixels that it is. It's good. Okay. This line doesn't look exactly how I want it, so I want to adjust this to 30 pixels or 35 pixels, if so to say, and I will auto margin it. Margin auto. Good. Yeah, awesome. So right now there is a property that we are going to use to get the two both lines that are up here. That one is going to be up here and one is going to be down here, and we are going to use what we call pseudocode. In CSS, what we call pseudocode is a code that we can add to our code. You get the gist? Yeah. So we are going to use pseudocode. Pseudocode is just like hover and the rest of them. There's a lot of them, but this time around we're going to use the one they call before and after pseudocode. So I'll just copy this line of code here, place it down, and use the before. Okay, comma, copy the same thing, but this time around I will use after. So on our pseudocode we have a property called content, and we are going to give it a value, an empty value. So we will make the width to be inherit to the parent, height to be inherit to the parent, background is going to inherit almost everything, inherit to your parent, and we'll position it absolute. When we position it absolute, we'll make it a top of negative 10 pixels. Yeah. So when we make negative 10 pixels, it means we took it above the parent, so it's above the parent. That is why you see it right here, but two of them are together. So in order for us to bring this one down, we only need to take this after, put it down here, and give it a top positive 10 pixel. That solves it. So good, we are good, we are good. What else do we need to target? Okay, right now sorry, the next thing we need to target is for us to target a property that will allow us to click this, to make this clickable and responding to our click. So in order to do that, we have to use another pseudocode called checked. It means when the toggle bar is checked, what do we want our code to do? So the thing we are going to write now is what is going to happen when our toggle bar is checked. So I'm going to take our toggle again, but this time around I will add it checked, which is the pseudocode. And I will plus it with the hamburger line. Hamburger with his wonderful child line. So what do we do here right now? We need to transform. We need to use a CSS property called transform to rotate it, so that when we click it, it will give us some effect here. So I will use transform, rotate, and I will rotate it for 135 degree. Okay, hope this works. Let's give it a try. Okay, it's working, but it doesn't look good, man. It's jumping around as if somebody forgot something somewhere, which I think. Okay, here under this line of code I will add a transition. I will add a transition of 0.4 second. Let me first of all add the transition. I'll add a transition of 0.4 second, and I will make it is, in, and out. Okay, so right now when you click it, wow, it becomes smooth to our click. Stop jumping, okay? Come on. So what do we do next? I want to add a property to it. When it's like this, I want to have some effect on it. Okay, so when it's like this, I want that when I hover on it, it will give me some effect. So in order to do that, I will take our toggle. I'll take exactly this line of code and paste it here, but this time around I will make it to I can make it anything, but I want to make it 245 degree, and I will add another pseudocode here, which is hover. Good. So it's only effective when I hover on it, you know. See, go over, click, then hover. Let me make it to 25 degrees. Yeah, It's okay like this. So our next target now is to, when you click on a menu like this, it's supposed to have an X to show that it's active. This menu is active. Whoa, I'm active. Click me to go back or click me to continue. But when you see it, you will know that it's active. So in order to do that, we have to take our checked property here. We have to check our checked property, toggle check property here, and plus with hamburger and the line, and then we need our pseudocode before and after. Good. It's getting a little bit complicated, but I hope you're following. I hope you're understanding exactly what I'm doing here. So in order to get what we want, the X effect, what we want, we need to return both of them back to top 0, still using the property it has here, which is absolute position. We are returning to top 0, and then we are using another transform here, which is going to rotate it 90 degrees. Okay, so when you click on it, it will become an X. Whoa, right now I'm active. Click on it again, go back. Click on it, active. Click on it, go back. Click on it, active. Click on it, go back. So we are done with our hamburger menu and logo and navigation background layout. So the next thing we have to target right now is this big boy right here, this div menu, to make a design what we want and how we want it to display on its own. So I will target menu, and give it a width of 300 pixels, and give it a height of 300 pixels. I can give it a height of 400 pixels. I don't want it to be like a box. I will make it a background of salmon to take the same background with the I'll give it a padding of 1 rem. I will also position it absolute. Okay, I will give it a top of 60 pixels because I want it to come down to this div right here. 60 pixels. Here we are. Let me change this color for now so that we are seeing what we are doing. Sorry, catastrophe. Yeah, that is exactly what we are doing. I have given it a top of 60, and I'll give it a right. I want to take it to the right of 0. Yeah, here you are. I would like to align the text inside of it. For now, let me just align it center because it's right at the edge here. You're not seeing it. I'll change the color later. to have a good contrast, but for now it's here and I want to make it in the middle, so I'll just make a text align center to bring it right in the center. I'll give it just, I don't want it to be totally square, so let me just give it a little border radius. These are not is not needed. It's just I hate boxes, so I always try to avoid boxes. I'll give it 0 pixel and 5 pixel, just a little curve on the edge, you see. For now I will leave I need to get some other property later, but for me to continue what I'm doing I have to leave it here right now like this. So the next property we need to target is this navigator. So we need to target our menu navigator. We give it a width of inherit, and the height give it also a height of inherit. For now, let's see how it all plays out, and I'll give it a margin top of 5 pixel. 5 pixel. I'd rather give it something like 10 pixel. Let's see how. For now, I can change it later when it's not working out how I want it, but I will give it a font size of 1.2 rem. Okay, better. Inside our navigator we have an ordered list and a list item. We need to target this differently, so I'll just copy this to make this a little bit faster. I didn't know that this video would take so long like this. We need our UL and LI, and we need to make it a style, a list style, that is to take out these black points here. We give it none. Here you go. I'll give it a padding of 10 pixel. Okay, I think it's okay. You get what I'm trying to do, right? And inside here we have an anchor tag. We can target the ID of the anchor tag, or we can target the anchor tag itself. So let me just target the ID. I'll copy this again, take out this, I think we have nav link here as the ID, and we can make it a text decoration. If you notice there are lines. Okay, let me add it a color. So you see all this line, I want to take it away from now for now, so I'll just make a text decoration of none. That takes it away. but I would like to return it back when it is hovered. When they hover on it, I want to see some action here. So I'll just copy this line of code, paste it under here, add underline to it, and then use the pseudocode called hover. So when I hover on them, the lines will come out, just to show some liveliness to the buttons. So right now we can decide how we want this to display. We can decide however we want it to display, but right now let me change the color. Let me change the color to what color did I use for this header again? I forgot some. Salmon, yeah, big salmon. Oh god. Yeah, to just make some uniformity here also. I don't know. And here we need to add a transform element again, transform property again, but this time around we are going to use transform translate. Okay, when we use translate, okay, I'll show you everything though. For now I will use translate X, and I will give it 400 pixel. Sorry. And that takes it away. That pushed it to the right. I like to add a transition to it. Transition of 0.5 second is, let me use only ease out this time around. Okay, so in order to connect this button and bringing back our menu plate back, we need to locate the toggle again with checked, the pseudocode checked, and we need to use this selector. This selector in CSS is selecting, is going to connect this menu to this. This is a element that is right beneath it. So we use this to connect them and just write our menu. Hopefully, sorry. So we only have to make our transform back to none. Transform none. That is to say that when we click on this, it has to bring it out. Okay, we can make it translate Y and make it a negative of 400 pixel. So this time around is going to be coming from up. When you click it, I think I even prefer this one. Yeah, I prefer it to be coming from up. Let's leave it like this for now. We can change it later if we decide that we don't want it. We are the one doing it, so we can change it whenever we want it. Okay, I added a hero page here, and we just make a quick design about our hero page. So I will make a comment, another comment, a hero page. And we'll target our hero page is a class ID. Okay, I make it a class. Make it a class of hero page. Yeah. I make it a class of hero page and give it a width of 100 pixel, 100%, sorry, and give it a height of 50%. Good. Give it a height of 50%. Text align to center, and I'll position it absolute and give it a top of 30 view edge, that is view height. That's bringing our this thing back here. I want to add something here. I want to add a button with an ID of btn that's going to write just explore, you know. I put the button inside the hero page, and I will, yeah, it's cool. Button, right, explore. That is like in a web page is call to action, you know, just call to action. Okay, I have to target our hero page again. The H1 of it. The H1 of our hero page with the paragraph, with the button, and that will give them a margin top of 20 pixel to give them gap from each other, and the font size of 1.5 rem. Okay, looks crazy, but yeah, I think this is good. And then I'll target our button, and I'll just give it a padding of 15 pixel. Looks crazy. Padding of 15 pixel. Give it padding left 15 pixel. Okay, let me do it this way. I give it a padding, but not I'll give it 10 pixel top and then 15 pixel left and right. Does it make sense? 20 pixel left and right. It's too big, man. We don't need the big button. Victor, we don't need a big button, so I'll just make this 5 pixel. Oh yeah, good. That's how we do, that's how we want it. And I'll add it a border radius because I hate box. I hate boxes. So I'll just add it a border radius of 10 pixel to round in the edges. Yeah, make it look a little bit better. And I'm going to have a cursor of pointer so that when I hover on it to show that, oh man, you can click me. I'll make it a background color of salmon, just for, I don't know, but I did it anyway. And the text color of white. I'll make it a border color of 1 pixel, solid and salmon. Good. Beautifying the, I will make also the outline color, because when you click on it, it has an outline. I'll make it also a color of salmon. Click me, salmon. Click me again, salmon. Everything salmon. I want to add a hover effect to it, so let me just add a transition. To all for 0.4 seconds will be enough. Is in and out. Okay, so I'll just take it and add it. We are coming to the end of this and I'm happy. Add it over. I just want a little change of the background when I hover it. I want the background to be an RGB color of I check this color 97, 52, 49. A little dark. Yeah, I think I like it. Do you also like it? Tell me if you like it, please. But I like it. And that one, I want to make the border also a little bit more bigger, 3 pixel, solid, and another RGB of the same color. So I'll just copy this. So when I hover on it, see the effect. Yeah, and I want to make the, yeah, this is good, right? Yeah, right now we are done with this project, but I just want to add a little thing to it, because when you view the website on a desktop, with the desktop view, it still have the same what we have on the mobile, and we need to fix it so that when you view it on a desktop view, it will have the desktop layout. When you view it on mobile, it will have the mobile layout. That is why it is called responsive design. So in order to do that, we need a property, a CSS property called media query. and we are going to call on it by using our art media and using only for a screen. This is just the normal syntax for it, and this we have a minimum width of 800 pixels. So I want this to change immediately. I want this to take effect immediately from iPad, from something like pad, or then it will change once the resolution of the screen that is going to view it is from 800 pixels and above. This every code I'm going to write here now will take effect. Okay, so first of all, I will take the menu wrap and display it initial. Okay, let me adjust this to 800 pixels so that somewhere you will see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Somewhere around here should be enough. Control B. Yeah. I'm going to make the menu wrap. I'm going to make the menu wrap to display initial. Remember, we displayed it flex. I want to remove that flex effect, so I'll just display initial. Okay, and I will take our menu. Okay, in order to make this, I'll take our menu and start with width. I'll leave the width like 100% how it is. But I'll change the height, the width 100%. I'll change the height to 40 pixels. When the height of this header is 60 pixels, I would like to make the height of my menu. For now, let me make it 40 pixels. I'll see how it all plays out. Okay, and I'll make the background to remain salmon. I don't need to add this. I'll just leave the background to be salmon. I will adjust the padding to be 1 rem. It is positioned absolute. Our menu is positioned absolute, and I also want to position it absolute here. I will make it a top of -10 pixel. I will text align it initial. I will remove the border radius. I will remove the transform. And I will remove the transition. Now, for one reason or the other, we are not seeing what we are doing, but I hope it will all come together shortly. We need to target our navigator. We target our navigator here. Navigator, and we need to make it a width of 100 pixels. We want to make it a height, a width of 100%, I guess. Let's see how it plays out. A height of 70 pixels. I think what we are looking for is somewhere here, but let me see how it plays out. I'm going to display it flex. And I will align item center. Now justify contact center. Okay, so now they are in center. I will align items to center. Now we'll take our menu, navigation, UL. I want to display them flex. Yep. Now what we are doing just came to life. They have displayed flex here, and I want to align the items. I want to align the item center, and I want to justify content to be flex end. I need to make the padding something like 11 pixels between each other. Okay, and I will make the width to be 100%. Yeah, exactly. And I'll make the height to be something like 50 pixels. Doesn't look good for me. 70 pixels. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like this. So this is exactly what we want, but our toggle and everything is still here, so we need to take them away. So we need to locate our toggle and our hamburger. We need to make them a display of none. That will take them away, hopefully. Yeah. Okay. I want to add a little padding to these buttons here. So I'll just the menu hamburger UL and LI, just a padding of 20 pixels. Not much different, but I think we did a good job. So this is the desktop view of the website, so to say. When you're scrolling it, the navigation bar, the header stays in place. When we have other pages or whatever we want to do, we can link all these things to pages, but they are not linked to anything right now because this is just a demo. Normally we will link all this to home page, to about, to contact, service, and all that. So, and when you return it back to mobile view, it will go automatically back to mobile view. And this is it. You can also click it here and link it to wherever you want to link on the web page. You can link it anywhere you want on the web page. So return it back, desktop view, take it back, mobile view, return it back, desktop view, mobile view. So guys, we have come to the end of the tutorial. If you follow these steps, everything I explained on this video, or I tried my best to explain on this video, you will achieve the same result. But if there is by any chance you did what I said, what I explained on this video, and your code is not working well, and you don't understand how to debug it, or you didn't understand what went wrong, you can send me a message or write a comment under this video with your questions, and I'll try my best to answer them. If you have any question regarding this video, regarding this tutorial, please don't hesitate to ask, because I will bring out time to make sure that I attend to the questions. And if you like this video, please share it. Somebody might need it. I've seen a lot of people who do their web project, especially when they are starting up. They don't know JavaScript yet. They are just learning CSS, but then they have a project to do. When they do the project, instead of having a beautiful layout like this, they will have to stack on a mobile view. They will stack all these things on top of each other here on the middle. I see a lot of people like this, but this doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. So even though you don't know JavaScript yet, you can still make a beautiful layout, a responsive layout, and enjoy your project when you see them, and be happy with your project when you see them. So if you like the video, or if you think someone else might like it, don't hesitate to share it. Don't hesitate to share it with anybody. Share it however you want it. You are allowed to do so. I will be bringing out time to be making this type of video tutorials when I have the chance. So you will see more of the video like this from me, and I'm happy to be able to complete this video anyway because regularly I'm not a video guy. But with that being said, have a wonderful day and see you on another video. Happy New Year. Bye bye.